This is a video by Richpin. Today we're working on a Dodge Neon. This one happens to be a 2002 model. Today we're working on the motor mount. Actually, it's a strut. This piece right here. Look at this one. Totally gone. So we're going to replace that. Now there are two bolts that hold it on. They're both 18 millimeter. One is right here and one is right here. We're going to be using a box wrench on this one. We don't have a lot of clearance here, so that's why I chose the box wrench. And there's the bolt. Okay, I try to take this bolt off right here, and the nut underneath is just spinning and it's recessed in a captive piece, so we can't get that out. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the bracket off of the shock tower. There's an 18 millimeter here bolt and a 18 millimeter nut here, and we're going to take those off now. Okay, we've got the nut off over here, and this bolt is almost out. Okay, there it is. And bring that out, lift that up a little bit, and there it is. Now we can get it on the bench. Okay, now you can see what we're dealing with here. The bolt is rusted, and the nut is just spinning in this restraint right here. So we're going to wire brush those threads and see if we can get a wrench on that. Okay, we're going to get a 6-point deep on the top here to hold it. We can just barely get a hold of the edge of the nut, and we should be able to get it out. Okay, there it is. We'll make sure we clean that up nice before we put it back in. And of course the bracket just comes right off the mount like so. Now what we're going to do before we put that back together is take this punch, pin this metal back flat so it will grab a hold of the nut. Now on your old mount there'll be this little piece of metal right here with two T30 headed bolts. You want to remove that and put that on your new mount. Okay, now when you put your mount on, the mount has a flush side right here and it has a protrusion. Now the protrusion will go towards the engine like so. Now when you put your bolts in, put a little thread locker on your bolts and put the bolts in. Okay, now tighten both those bolts. Now one thing about this strut, there is a torque strut adjustment on there that should be measured from the center of this stud to this hole right here. Now it says 4.70 inches, and apparently that must be only on some models, because this one right here is nowhere close to being at that distance. And that's all there is to changing the motor mount on your Dodge Neon.